The world can be divided into two groups, those who play the game and those who are used as pieces. You have sensed this all your life. You enter a room and feel unnoticed. You watch certain individuals command attention without saying a word. They receive the chances. They gain respect. They hold influence. Meanwhile, you put in more effort. You try to be kind. You aim to be skilled and reliable. Yet you are overlooked. You are left questioning why ability alone is not enough. Why integrity is not rewarded. Here is the hard reality that society rarely states openly. Power is not moved by good intentions. It responds to leverage. You have been trying to reach powerful people by offering friendship. But powerful individuals do not need additional friends. They require assets. They seek reflections of themselves. They want security. If you want access to the spaces where real decisions happen, you must let go of the need for approval. You must stop waiting for permission to matter. Niccolo Machiavelli wrote The Prince more than 5 centuries ago, not to promote immorality, but to describe how the world actually works. He recognized that human behavior is fundamentally shaped by self-interest, fear, and ego. Ignore this, and you remain a pawn. Understand it, and you become the force that directs the board. In the next few minutes, we will break down the myths you have been taught about networking. We will examine Machiavelli's 13 uncompromising laws of connection. These are not casual suggestions. They are tools rooted in psychology. By the end, you will no longer view powerful individuals as above you. You will see them as systems to be understood, and you will possess the key to navigating them. But understand this. Once you recognize how influence operates, there is no return to ignorance. Most people fail because they approach power with desperation, offering an open hand and asking for favors. They believe connection is about authenticity. That belief is misleading. Authenticity is a privilege reserved for those who already hold influence. For those still climbing, connection requires calculated adjustment. It means presenting what the other person expects to see until you become so integrated into their world that your presence becomes necessary. But how do you do this without losing your integrity? How do you shape the perception of elites without becoming submissive? The answer lies in a psychological principle known as the void. To grasp the void, however, you must first understand the 13 laws. Let's begin. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The first error is the desire to impress. You meet someone influential and let ego take control. You want to display intelligence, competence, and knowledge. You assume this builds respect. It does not. It creates discomfort. Powerful people are often highly sensitive. Their self-image depends on being the most capable or visionary person present. When you shine too brightly, you stop looking useful and start looking threatening. Machiavelli cautioned that appearing superior to those above you is always risky. When you make a superior seem weaker or less capable by comparison, you activate their instinct for self-preservation. They will remove you, not due to lack of skill, but because you challenge their sense of dominance. So what is the correct approach? Reduce your visibility. Let them appear exceptional. When sharing an idea, frame it so it feels like it originated from them. Ask questions that guide them toward the conclusion. Support their sense of importance. This is not submission. It is strategic concealment. By reinforcing their superiority, you lower resistance. You become non-threatening, and once you are seen as safe, you gain access. While they focus on their own image, you quietly study their habits, identify vulnerabilities, and strengthen your position. Allow them the recognition. You secure the control. Law 2. Conceal your intentions. A predictable person is an easily managed one. If I understand what you want, I understand how to influence you. If I know you seek money, I can purchase your loyalty. If I know you want approval, I can win you over with praise. Most people display their desires openly. They approach powerful individuals with eyes that say, I need something from you. This signals desperation, and desperation pushes influence away. To engage with power, you must be difficult to read. Machiavelli advised, Keep your friends close, but keep your intentions closer. Enter a room without revealing your purpose. Do not expose your final objective. Speak about everything except business. Discuss art, philosophy, their interests, the wine, anything that makes the interaction human. Let them question why you are there. Uncertainty generates interest. When people cannot determine what you want, curiosity grows. They begin projecting their own goals onto you. They pursue you to solve the mystery. Never reveal your position until the outcome is secured. Be approachable. Be transparent. Be engaging. But keep the heart of your ambition locked away, unseen. The less others know about your motives, the stronger your position becomes in any negotiation. Law 3. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. This is where agreeable people often lose. You need assistance. You need guidance. You need funding. So you approach someone influential and tell them your personal story. You explain your hardships. You emphasize how deserving you are of an opportunity. You appeal to their kindness, their sense of fairness, their values. They may smile. They may listen. But nothing changes. Why? Because mercy carries a cost. Powerful individuals are overwhelmed with requests. If they helped everyone who earned sympathy, they would be depleted and ineffective. Machiavelli was direct on this point. It is better to be feared than loved when you cannot be both. In modern connections, this means something specific. It is better to be useful than simply liked. Do not ask for favors. Propose exchanges framed as partnerships. Identify what they need. Is there a competitor they want neutralized? A challenge they cannot resolve? A personal project that is underperforming? Present yourself as the answer to their problem. When you speak, do not focus on what you want. Focus on what matters to them. I see you're dealing with this issue. I have a solution that will save you time. Now you are no longer asking. You are contributing. Self-interest is the one language everyone understands. Learn to speak it well, and opportunities appear. Law 4. The discipline of strategic absence. We live in an era of constant availability. You reply immediately. You agree to every meeting. You are always reachable. You believe this shows commitment. In reality, it communicates low worth. The same economic principles apply to people. Scarcity increases value. If you are always present, you become ordinary. Ordinary things are inexpensive. Influential people respect time because it is the only asset they cannot replace. When you give your time without limits, you signal that it has little value. Machiavelli understood that a ruler seen too often loses distinction. You must learn when to step back. Be attentive when you are there. Be fully present. Make the interaction feel important. Then withdraw. Do not answer every call immediately. Do not be instantly available for every meeting. Maintain a life, a purpose, a schedule that does not revolve around them. This accomplishes two things. First, it shows you have value in alternatives. Second, it creates an open loop in their thinking. They begin to wonder where you are, what you are doing, who has your attention. Your absence occupies mental space. And when you return, your presence feels earned, not expected. Use absence to build respect. Law 5. The mirror of Narcissus. Everyone is drawn to themselves. Even leaders who appear modest are deeply attached to their own perspective. They want to be understood. They seek confirmation that their view of the world is valid. Most people try to connect by talking about their own experiences. That approach creates noise. To connect with power, become a reflection. Show them their image, slightly refined. If they speak quickly and forcefully, adjust your pace to match. Adopt their posture. If they are calm and deliberate, slow down and become thoughtful. Align your breathing. Use similar language. If they frame ideas in terms of conflict, use the same framework. If they rely on sports analogies, follow that lead. This is not simple imitation. It is alignment at a neurological level. When you mirror someone effectively, their subconscious immediately categorizes you as similar. He is like me. From there, trust forms, followed by perceived intelligence. In this process, You bypass their logical mind and communicate directly with the primal, instinctive brain. People generally do not want to be challenged. They want to be validated. Become confirmation of their intelligence. When they look at you, allow them to see an improved reflection of themselves. They will grow attached to your presence because you make them feel understood in a way others do not. Law 6. Become the gatekeeper of information. In the past, land represented power. Today, information holds that role, specifically, exclusive information. Influential individuals are often isolated, surrounded by people who only reinforce their views. As a result, they crave honesty and insight from outside their bubble. If you are the one who delivers valuable, unfiltered intelligence, you become essential. You serve as their eyes and ears. Have you noticed what competitors are planning? Have you identified a weakness no one has mentioned? Is there a market shift they should be aware of? Do not operate as a gossip. Act as a strategic observer. Filter information that protects them or gives them an advantage. When you deal in meaningful insights, your status rises. You move from outsider to trusted insider. There is no alliance stronger than one built on shared secrets. However, proceed with caution. Never reveal all your sources. Protect your control over the flow of information. If they can access it without you, your value disappears. Conceal the source. Deliver the result. Law 7. The law of the useful enemy. Few things unite people faster than a common adversary. Social science refers to this as in-group and out-group bias. We naturally favor those who oppose what we oppose. To connect with someone powerful, identify what frustrates them. Do they dislike inefficiency, bureaucracy, a rival ideology, the current system? Align yourself with that opposition. Acknowledge their frustration. The industry really has lost its standards, just as you pointed out. By validating their enemies, you validate their struggle. You affirm their sense of purpose. You are essentially saying, I recognize the battle you are fighting, and I am here to support you. Avoid excessive negativity. The opposition must feel justified, not petty. We are among the few who see things clearly. This creates an us versus them dynamic, and within that shared conflict, strong loyalty forms. Law 8. Appeal to their fantasy. Machiavelli understood that people do not live in reality. They live in their idealized self-image. The harsh executive prefers to see himself as a caring mentor. The disorganized artist imagines herself as a focused visionary. The insecure leader wants to be viewed as a redeemer. Your task is to identify that self-image and support it. If they want to feel wise, become the attentive learner. Ask for guidance. Allow them to teach. If they want to be rebellious, position yourself as the ally. If they want to rule, act as the devoted supporter. Do not force them to confront reality. Reality is uncomfortable. That discomfort is often what wealth shields them from. If you are the one who reinforces their narrative, they will defend you strongly. If you leave, the illusion weakens. You become the structure that sustains their identity. This approach may sound manipulative, and it is. But this is not about friendship. It is about navigating influence. Power operates as performance. Learn the role. Deliver it well. Law 9. Master emotional alchemy. People in power operate under constant pressure. They carry responsibility for organizations, livelihoods, and significant resources. Internally, this creates tension and stress. Most people add to it by bringing problems, conflict, and urgency. To stand apart, you must provide calm. When they rush, slow down. When they react emotionally, remain steady. Learn to absorb disorder and return clarity. I understand the issue. Here is the solution. It's handled. Those words are deeply reassuring. They remove burden. You become a place of relief. Over time, they will seek your presence not only for outcomes, but for how you stabilize them. You make them feel secure and in control. In chaos, be quiet. In pressure, be grounding. If you can reduce their stress, your value increases. Law 10. Embrace formlessness. Machiavelli praised adaptability, just as Bruce Lee later did. Rigidity breaks, flexibility endures. When dealing with influence, attachment to ego becomes a liability. You must adjust to circumstances. At times, assertiveness is required. At others, restraint. Some moments call for leadership, others for support. Do not lock yourself into a single identity. If you insist on only one way of being, conflict is inevitable with those who operate differently.